Like, you've got to machine every little piece. Because, like, human nature is to have variety, right? But machines don't like variety. Like, Henry Ford bet all the other car companies back in the day because they would literally have a team build a car from start to finish, and then they'd finish it, then this team would start from start to finish again, whereas Henry Ford just had one person putting on one bolt, went along on a thing, the other person put on another bolt, and it actually was so extreme, if you watch a documentary on it, that Henry Ford had learned every motion a human body must go through to create a Model T Ford. So every movement a human being had to make, he knew what it was, and he'd optimized it and processed it, and he made sure that he even looked at, while other companies got a team to build an entire car from start to finish, which took weeks, Henry Ford even tried it when he had one person lathe in a machine a particular part, and then fix that part to the car. So 2 jobs, lathe it, fix it. Then he thought, what if one person just lathes all day and one person just fixes it all day? So he took it to the extreme, and he found out that they were 300% more efficient when they only had to do one thing. Because when you have to lathe, and then you have to change gears and think about, okay, now we're changing it to fixing it to the car, but when all you do is lathe, it becomes automatic. You don't even have to think about what you're doing, it just somehow just starts happening. And you never have to stop and think or change gears. So that's how you want to think with your business. How can you make it so that a person doesn't have to think much in your team, and that most of their time is spent just doing that high value thing, and they never have to think about what to do, and they never have to change gears or research how to do something and then do it. You just want them to just be bang, 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 because that's how you're going to make any time that a human being is not doing the thing, it's inefficient, right? And if you want to see another extreme example of this, it's Amazon. So their fulfillment centers, the people who walk around in those centers and put items in boxes, they can't get machines to do those yet because it's too complicated. So it's still human beings packaging the boxes and then putting them on the belt, and then the machine does the rest. But to get the most efficiency out of the humans, they have a handheld computer, and it tells them exactly where to go, and it says aisle 6 this, get this, and then it has a countdown clock. So the computer knows how long it takes to walk there at that pace and pack it, and there's a countdown clock, and for everything. If they want to go to the bathroom, they press bathroom, counts down how long they've got before they get back. If they're in the bathroom for too long, it starts optimizing the other people, and maybe it's going to call someone back in, because Amazon fulfills about 10,000 orders a second. So you imagine how much of a shitstorm would happen if they just slowed down for a minute. You can't. That machine has to be so well optimized that if they have a day off, they can never catch up in a year. So there is no room for error. So even with all of it made me think man, that is optimization, right? Even the people who are getting paid the least in their fulfillment centers are more productive than people that are paid huge amounts of money. That's how Amazon has that sort of efficiency, because they're making sure that every component in their machine is doing the work all the time at the best level. And that's what you want to think about with your business too. And Dan was saying before, that they had a way that when people would book a strategy session, they'd get their sales rep to immediately call them up and confirm that they'd booked. But then he said, but sometimes the person was just oh, we can do the call now. And he said they had good results with that. So why don't we do that instead of the structured, rigid model that we've created? Well, it's because that starts breaking as soon as you put scale into it. Because now you can't schedule your sales rep, because they may or may not end up doing the sales call with that person. We don't know, we can't predict it. That call may go for 10 minutes or an hour. We can't predict it. And the person has to think. And as soon as we get into that, it's unpredictable. and we can't maximize that rep's efficiency for each day. So with the strategy session model, we're trying to make sure every rep does 8 sales calls with a qualified person on the hour every hour and 5 6 days a week. And if they are doing that, we are squeezing every ounce of efficiency out of each rep, right? But as soon as we start doing something a bit custom and bespoke, it blows the whole machine up. You know what I mean? Imagine if one of those Amazon fulfillment people just thought, maybe I'll just grab a sandwich today, then listen to this song, and then go to the bathroom, and then take the different route, right? Because they feel like it. The whole system would break down.